SKAL, Fight for Survival. The narrative revolves around Arthur, a popular online content creator cherished by millions who indulges in a luxurious life thanks to his subscribers. However, his seemingly perfect world shatters when a sudden power outage envelopes the city in turmoil. Initially brushed off as an inconvenience by Arthur and his friends, including his roommates Emma and Darren, they soon comprehend that this outage marks the onset of a grave water crisis jeopardizing their very survival. In the beginning, Arthur organizes a celebratory party for reaching 3 million subscribers, gathering friends, fans, and his manager Darren. Among the attendees is Emma, a longtime friend and unconfessed romantic interest of Arthur. However, emotional tension brews beneath the celebration as Arthur grapples with his feelings for Emma while feeling increasingly annoyed by Darren's egotistical demeanor. The party takes a catastrophic turn with a sudden blackout. The group initially assumes it's a minor glitch, but as the hours pass they confront a new reality: no water, no internet, and no communication. The following day, panic engulfs the city as citizens frantically seek resources. In a bid to secure water, Arthur ventures to a grocery store, but he inadvertently walks into a deadly shootout involving robbers and a mysterious cop named Frank. Amidst a hail of bullets, Arthur narrowly escapes, but Frank, injured and desperate, coerces him into helping escape with a van laden with stolen water supplies. Arthur reluctantly conceals Frank and the van in their apartment's parking garage. Upon returning home, Arthur's friends are incredulous at his decision to bring the wounded cop into their abode. They quickly discover that Frank isn't an ordinary officer; he possesses critical knowledge regarding the unfolding crisis. As tensions rise, Frank divulges that the entire nation is grappling with water shortages extending far beyond their city's borders. Ordered to requisition all water supplies for governmental purposes, Frank stumbled upon the harsh reality that there was no viable plan to distribute the resources back to the people. Instead, water was being stockpiled, leaving countless individuals to fend for themselves. Enraged by this revelation, Frank attempted to commandeer a supply truck but found himself ambushed by mercenaries intent on seizing control of the scarce resources. This shocking disclosure creates a rift among the group. Darren, with his self-serving nature, proposes to escape the city with the water and hoard it for personal gain. Contrarily, Arthur and Emma advocate for sharing their supplies and assisting others in dire need, reflecting a moral struggle amid the deteriorating community dynamics and survival instincts. As the harrowing circumstances unfold, desperate civilians are seen begging for water outside their apartments, highlighting the severity of the dire situation. A poignant moment occurs when a mother with an infant pleads for just one bottle, only to be met with Darren's refusal. This moment encapsulates the escalating moral dilemmas faced by the characters, particularly when armed criminals hunt them down for Frank's pilfered supplies. The narrative culminates on an ambiguous note that fosters contemplation among viewers, prompting them to reflect on several thematic elements, character developments, and future possibilities. Character arcs and their fates. Arthur, the reluctant survivor. Initially portrayed as a self-absorbed content creator, Arthur is focused on his social media stardom. His existence revolves around online validation, yet the unfolding crisis thrusts him into real-world pressures that overshadow his digital persona. As chaos envelopes him, Arthur's character undergoes a profound transformation. He finds himself compelled to act in life-or-death scenarios where fame holds no value. Eventually, he must confront his survival instincts, picking up a weapon to defend himself. Despite this, he retains a moral compass, resisting the urge to hoard resources like Darren or to abandon others as Frank suggests. Arthur's inner conflict emphasizes the overarching theme of civilization versus survival. As he and the group escape the city, he reflects on the rapid disintegration of societal norms and understands that true devastation stems from human conflict born from scarcity rather than external threats. Emma, the moral compass. In stark contrast to Arthur's initial self-serving tendencies is Emma, who embodies the humanity within their group. She is proud to be the voice of compassion, refusing to leave anyone behind and expressing deep concern for those willing to sacrifice others for survival. The dynamic between her and Arthur is complex. While Arthur harbors romantic feelings for her, Emma has kept him at arm's length. Their relationship evolves when she witnesses Arthur's growth as he steps up to protect others, earning her newfound respect. Emma advocates for sharing resources such as water and displays unwavering commitment to the greater good, positioning her as a potential leader in the fight for humanity amidst despair. Darren, the selfish opportunist. Conversely, Darren epitomizes selfishness and exploitation in the face of chaos. Throughout the film, he is singularly focused on personal gain, even contemplating the theft of all available water for himself. His refusal to offer assistance to the desperate mother and child starkly showcases his self-serving nature. As the narrative progresses, it becomes evident that Darren's character serves to highlight the moral decay that can occur when survival instincts override basic human decency. By the conclusion of the story, Darren's fate remains uncertain. If another crisis arises, will he choose betrayal, or will he come to understand that his self-serving instincts are inadequate for survival in an unraveling world? Frank, the fallen lawman. Frank embodies a tragic character. At first glance, he appears as a hardened, no-nonsense officer, yet it soon becomes apparent that he has lost trust in the justice system. Ordered to seize the community's remaining water supplies, he realizes the government has no genuine solutions and decides to take personal action instead. Despite enduring significant injuries, Frank persists in the fight, driven by the knowledge that societal rules have disintegrated. His decision to remain behind as the group escapes highlights his belief that redemption is not possible for him. Frank's journey underscores the breakdown of law and order and reveals how those tasked with maintaining societal safety also find themselves devoid of answers in times of catastrophe. Steve, the forgotten victim. The moment Arthur forgets about Steve until it is nearly too late is telling. Steve's fate is grim. He stands trapped in an elevator for days without access to water. This scenario symbolizes how crises often exacerbate the plight of society's most vulnerable and overlooked individuals. While Arthur and his group grappled with their survival, Steve languished in silence, utterly helpless. The ambiguity surrounding Steve's fate enhances the film's poignancy. Is he succumbing to dehydration? Has help finally arrived? Is he still in waiting? The directors intentionally leave these questions unanswered, prompting us to consider how many Steves exist in actual disaster scenarios. Themes and messages of the film. The fragility of civilization. The narrative illustrates how modern civilization teeters on the brink of collapse if critical resources like water vanish. What initiates as a gathering filled with joy and merriment rapidly degenerates into chaos, violence, and a struggle for survival. The grocery store shootout encapsulates this transformation as individuals are shown not stealing non-essentials but rather engaging in deadly confrontations over water. The film posits that our societal structure is inherently fragile, implying that the absence of a fundamental resource can plunge humanity into disorder swiftly. Selfishness vs. community. Darren and Frank exemplify two contrary philosophies regarding survival. Darren embodies the ethos of self-preservation without regard for communal well-being. He is unwilling to share resources, displaying a stark disregard for the lives of others, reinforcing the idea that extreme circumstances can lead individuals to forsake communal ties in favor of personal survival. In the narrative, Frank initially adheres to orders and government control, but as the story unfolds he becomes aware of the system's inherent flaws. This realization leads him to go rogue, opting to steal water, a bold act that serves as both rebellion and selfishness. His transformation highlights the broader theme of individual versus societal responsibility in times of crisis. Meanwhile, Emma and Arthur find themselves caught in a moral quandary, torn between their desire to help others and the grim understanding that offering assistance could endanger their own lives. This dynamic internal struggle adds a compelling layer to the narrative, emphasizing the complexities of human behavior when faced with adversities. The role of social media in a crisis. Arthur, a prominent online creator, learns that his internet fame holds no value when survival is at stake. In his desperate situation, he comprehends that views, likes, and followers do not equate to essential resources like food and water. In stark contrast, Darren continues to document everything, even amidst the societal breakdown, illustrating a critique of influencer culture. This behavior reflects the notion that some will capitalize on dire circumstances for content, raising poignant questions about the morality of such actions. However, the narrative further explores the paradox of this culture: who is watching? The loss of internet connectivity strips influencers of their power, underscoring the limitations of social media in genuine crises. Government failure and conspiracies. Frank's dawning realization about the government's lack of a contingency plan creates a chilling atmosphere. It starkly suggests that in real-world emergencies reliance on authorities may be misplaced. This commentary on government inefficacy resonates with contemporary fears surrounding official responses to pandemics, climate changes, and resource shortages. Additionally, the plot poses an unsettling inquiry: was the water crisis a natural disaster or a consequence of human actions? Frank ambiguously hints at an underlying mystery, leaving viewers to ponder whether corporate greed, corrupt leadership, or a clandestine experiment could be to blame. The story shrouds itself in uncertainty, allowing the audience to engage their imaginations in seeking answers. The final stand: escape and survival. Recognizing the imminent danger, Arthur and his group decide to flee to ensure their survival. In a selfless act of bravery, Frank insists on staying behind to confront the threat, providing the others with a critical opportunity to escape. The narrative juxtaposes survival instincts with themes of loyalty and courage, culminating in a poignant reflection on human resilience in the face of adversity. Frank's choice encapsulates the desperate choices individuals make when survival is at stake, making a lasting impact on the viewers. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.